Welcome to the Happy Workaholic Podcast. I'm your host, Kellyanne Gorman. Over the past 20 years, I've worked in beauty, luxury, corporate, and service-driven industries. I created the opportunity in these careers and in my own businesses that allowed me to travel the world, experience once-in-a-lifetime events, and build brands while providing my expertise to clients all around the globe. Life is short, and when you're given a second chance, you better believe I'm going to take it, celebrate it, and share it with you. This show is intended to elevate your mind, upgrade your business, enhance your life, and become part of a positive and uplifting community. If you're ready to take your business and life to that next level you deserve to be at, this is the show for you. Inspiration, motivation, and determination are what got me to where I am today. Tune in every week to hear from myself, other entrepreneurs, professional patients, small business owners, and fellow podcasters who will be featured on the show. I'm here to remind you to work hard, share your story, follow your dreams, and never, ever give up. Thanks for taking the time to subscribe to the Happy Workaholic Podcast. Today's episode starts now. Welcome to season 3 of the I Chose This Life series. I cannot believe this is the 3rd season already. It's just crazy. So if you're not familiar with what this is all about, basically I interview incredible male and female entrepreneurs, and they're going to share their personal struggles, their amazing stories, their triumphs, their wins, their losses, and everything in between, whether it's personal and their professional career, and really how they got to where they are today. Now, today I'm sharing the discussion that I had previously recorded a couple weeks ago with Sabriya Dobbins, who is the founder and CEO of Passport LLC. Because of everything that's going on in the world right now, Sabriya has a company that does in-person events, and a lot of them have had to be pushed out till future dates, but now she's bringing a lot of things online. So I just wanted to invite you to check the show notes so that you can see what kind of events she is doing on the internet right now. So let's dive into today's show and let me know what you guys think. Hello, and welcome to a brand new show of the Happy Workaholic Podcast. You guys, today is a very exciting day because I have my friend Sabriya Dobbins with us, and wait until you hear about the amazing business she's created. First of all, I just want to let you know that she is the founder and CEO of Project Passport, which you're going to hear all about today, and she's also a life discovery expert. She's created these insanely beautiful and retreats we all need to go to. They're actually mental wellness retreats. So we're going to get into all of that. And Sabriya and I actually met, obviously, on the interwebs because we were part of a series called Misdiagnosed Woman. So that's how I actually met Sabriya. I reached out to her on LinkedIn because we all know I live on LinkedIn, and she's creating change through travel. So welcome, Sabriya.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm super excited to talk all things mental and to just go get with it today.
I know. Thank you so much. I know your schedule is crazy busy. So we met on the because we're both part of the Misdiagnosed Woman Series. So can you tell us a little bit about your story and your personal story and why you created kind of the journey that got you to creating Project Passport?
Yes. So the big thing for me was I had my own, I guess you could say, ill mental health journey. During my college career, I pushed myself to the absolute limit. I was a 4.0 student, dual degrees. I was basically the kid that everybody wanted, and that my parents didn't have to worry much about me. But I was really pushing myself to the point that I got very depressed. I was constantly anxious. I was having severe panic attacks to the point where I had to go to the doctor to get checkups because my body would not respond well. I had headaches, and it was a lot. And it got to a point where I realized that I couldn't keep living this life anymore. I had to make some changes. So when I graduated college, I worked in real estate for a bit, realized it wasn't for me, worked in higher ed, realized that still wasn't for me, and I took a short sabbatical living abroad, believe it or not, and I moved to Belize. And
that's a beautiful place to relocate to, though, because I've been there a lot, and it's so beautiful.
It's like this place of like spiritual awakenings or
something.
I don't know, but I went there and Project Passport was born. I said I wanted people to have a space, a sort of a space to get out of the chaos of life and to just be. And Project Passport kind of created itself, and here I am over a year later, and we're launched and we're moving forward. I'm so excited.
I love this freaking story. I have a client that actually went to Costa Rica for, I think it was a yoga retreat, but it was also like a kind of spiritual retreat as well. And she was kind of blocked writing her podcast intro. And I'm like, why are you pushing it? Just wait to the tropical paradise. It's all going to come to you. And like her business shifted since then. I swear when you go to somewhere tropical, you go to somewhere beachy, like you can escape, even if it's for 5 minutes. And escape reality and just really help with like your mental health. Now, question for you. When you were in college, were you open about going through that? Like, were your friends aware that you were going through panic attacks and any of that, or you kept it a secret?
So I was that girl that if you looked at me from the outside, you would think she had everything.
Yeah.
She had the man, she had the school, the good grades, she had the accolades. I was in a leadership role in every organization. I mean, I was the epitome of what someone would aspire to be. And I think that trying to be on that pedestal was exhausting.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't open with friends because I was almost embarrassed to not still represent that pedestal that people had seen me on for so long.
And when you decided to do Project Passport and you launched it and you were so excited, you're obviously telling your friends, your family, then you told them, like, this is why. How did they react?
Yeah. I mean, I think that my parents, they were somewhat aware, because they knew when I was off. And my friends, I think they were a little bit surprised at first. They didn't really realize how hard I struggled. I think the only person that truly knew the full extent of my struggle was my fiance. Because, he was there. I couldn't hide it from him. And so I think my friends were just kind of like, wow, I mean, this is amazing. I didn't know that it was birthed through so much pain that you had experienced. I mean, I went through the loss of my grandmother while I was overseas. That was one of the straws that broke the camel's back. In 2017, I was a senior in college, and I was abroad on a service trip, and she passed away while I was gone. My grandmother raised me since I was a little girl, my first few years, and it was just the most heartbreaking thing. I thought that I could not get any lower. Honestly, I was done with life. I did not care if I lived or died. It was one of those spaces where I was devastated. And so I told you, like, a lot of these things that happened for me, they happened for me because now I was able to channel that pain and those experiences into Project Passport and what it is today.
I love that you said that. I say that now as well, and I never used to say that because I was so angry. But, I have a podcast to help thousands of other people now because of what happened to me. And I'm like, well, you know what? And now I say, well, you know what? It happened to me because I was strong enough to get to a place where I can now help others. But before, I was like so angry. I just like hated the world.
Oh, trust me. We all go through those stages of grief. I am not bagging you at all. I know.
It's so crazy. First of all, thank you for, using your platform and your voice, sharing your own personal story, because there's so many people that still are so afraid. They'll watch us on social media and they'll read all the articles and watch all the YouTube videos, but they're still like hiding in the darkness. And I just wish that, more people, I feel like over the last year, especially with influencers and celebrities, they're a lot more vocal, and it gives other people the confidence and courage to say the same thing. Like being, going through something like anxiety, panic attacks. Like I literally just recorded another podcast on PTSD and trauma because it's one of my highest, anything medical or mental health related are my highest downloads right now. So I feel like because of that, people are searching for more ways to help. So I'm glad that you're vocal. It's
Absolutely
huge.
And it's funny, I wanted to add to that, the suicide rates right now are out of this world.
Yeah.
According to the last piece of research I saw, the suicide rate from ages 10 to 35 is the number 3 cause of death for that age rate, and the number 10 cause of death in the U.S. Isn't that something?
It's insane. And it's also getting the children, the ages are getting lower because they're getting bullied because of family issues, friends, like whatever it is. But they're just, did you see, I forget where he was from, but I think he was like 9 or 10 and all these influencers are reaching out. And I think he was even on Ellen, I'm not sure, but it's happening at a younger age now, and it's just not okay. Like, we need to have systems in place everywhere to help with those things. So I think that the more of us that speak up with our own personal stories, we're able to help more people. So now you've just taken it to a whole nother level, because now your whole business revolves around it, which mine does too, which we're taking our stories, and it's just like, it's so amazing the world that we live in, because we're able to do that. Imagine like 20 years ago, like that wouldn't be a thing. You couldn't go to Belize and like be your best self and then want to help others, but now you can. So tell us all about Project Passport. And I'm so upset Kenya sold out. Let's just say that, because I had Kenya. I had that Kenya retreat on my board. And then when I saw you post on LinkedIn, I was like, what the hell? I'm so proud of you.
You know, I'm so over the moon right now, because I mean, it is in July, and you know, here, let me begin with this premise, because a lot of people, when they hear mental health, mental wellness, they automatically think, well, I don't have a mental illness, or I don't have anything going on wrong, so why do I need to deal with that, right? So that's the number one thing that people say. I want to start by saying we are all on a spectrum of mental health and wellness. You have good mental health some days, you have bad mental health some days, but we're all somewhere on that spectrum of mental health. I heard the term mental hygiene, which I love. This lady named Lynn taught me that term.
Oh, I like that.
I love that, because you should treat your mental health as if you brush your teeth every day. That's your dental hygiene. Your mental
so
health.
True.
When it comes to our retreat, our goal is to give people tools and techniques to different activities that are mental wellness and mental health based that they can take home and apply to their lives. We don't want to say, okay, let's just do some talk therapy, kumbaya. We want to say, here are some tools, here's some workshops, here's some things that you can utilize in your day-to-day. So when you go home from Belize or Costa Rica or Jamaica, whatever that is, you can say, wow, I can go home, not only have an exciting time and have relaxed, but going home to say, I can now deal with whatever I'm facing in my life, and I have the tools to do it.
That's what I love about it the most. It's not just, like you said, like a kumbaya moment. You're getting something out of it, and you actually have to put in the work. That is something I preach all the time. Like, if you want something, you need to work for it, whether it's self-care, mental health, like, you know, I'm on a weight loss journey, same thing with that. Like, you've got to put in the work. What are the retreats that you have available right now? Can you just kind of talk about the ones that are available now and what they offer? Because I know they're very different.
Yes. So every retreat has a theme. We really try hard to thread not only the excursions, the destination, the wellness activities, all thread into one theme for our retreats. When it comes to our upcoming retreats, this 2020, we're actually hosting a retreat with another company. We're co-hosting it with them, and it's called the Make Your Mark Retreat. So that's more so for professionals just looking to create a space in the world while still working in a career. So many times people don't really know how to balance their purpose and their career. So we're really working hard to help people find their strengths, to figure out, you know, what works for them, and really dig into who they are. So that one's going to be in Williamsburg, Virginia. That's our domestic version of the retreat. Okay. Then we have our two Costa Ricas. We're going to Costa Rica twice next year, once in February and once in March. The first retreat we're going on is actually a couples retreat. Think about it. When it comes to your mental health, what is probably the one thing that can knock you off course? Your relationship, right? That is the one thing that can knock you off course. People don't realize, but relationships probably affect them more than anything else out there. So we're actually hosting a couples retreat with some relationship coaches that we know very well, and they're going to actually help lead different couples activities and workshops to help these couples grow their masterful marriage. You know, marriage is not an easy thing, and people who are on the way there or who are in it, they constantly have to put in the work. You're constantly maintaining your marriage. So this is a great way to do so. So that'll be during Valentine's Day in 2021, Costa Rica. Then we're also going to Costa Rica again in March, but this retreat is different. So this is for women, working professional women, ages 25 to 40. And the goal of that retreat is to say, look, life sucks. Things happen. But how are we going to address them? How do we stay resilient when the storm is coming? How do we not waver? And so we're going to have a self-regulation therapy teacher. Her name is Tara, and she is fantastic. She's been through a really interesting journey herself, and so I think she's the perfect person to teach this technique to those who travel with us.
Those all sound amazing, and I need to look into them further. I'm 41, so I don't know if I could get into that one. I might.
What are you doing? Look, you're really like 31, okay? So Just take off 10 years. That's what we all need to do,
I
right?
feel 31. You guys, can I just tell you that I'm actually watching her on Zoom, and when you know somebody's passionate about something is when they spit out their content. She is not reading anything. She's not looking at her website. She has no notes. She is just on fire because she's so passionate, and that's what we need more of. More people in this world to share when they're going through a journey, share what they got out of it. She's doing retreats. She's giving tools and techniques that you need to go do the work, put it in yourself, and make things happen in your own life and advance yourself, whether it's in your personal or professional career. So I love that you're dominating both worlds, not just personal and not just personal. You're doing personal and professional, bringing in business, couples, everything.
Yeah, because mental health is such a holistic thing. And I know we throw that word around, but people love to silo mental health and say, okay, this is just anxiety, this is just depression. But what about the fact that your confidence may be leading to depression? What about the fact that maybe you're not knowing your purpose? What about maybe the fact that you don't feel comfortable in your career, or you don't feel like you're in the right fit? All those things come into play for mental health and wellness. So I think if we could take that kind of approach to mental health and make it more of an inclusive approach, I think it would be so much better. And that's kind of why we do a little bit of mental wellness and life coaching kind of work within our retreats for all of them. So.
I absolutely love that. Now, what's one big goal you have personally for your business? Maybe another retreat, another country, like what that you can share maybe, or maybe something that is in the works or something that you want. You got to put this out in the universe, girl.
Yes. God, you don't understand. People don't understand. When you live in purpose, it is the best. And I know you know, Kelly, because you're living it, but it is the best feeling in the world. So, when you say that, there's so many ideas bouncing around my head, but one of them,
I know.
You know what I love about a company? You know what I love about doing this business thing? You can have this vision of something that totally does not exist and fruition it into the world, right? And one of these crazy ideas I had, I don't know what random night it came to my head. I said I wanted to create a tropical staycation type experience in my state. So we're living in Raleigh. So this is kind of a cold winter for us, right? So in December this year, it'll be cold. So I said, why not create some type of retreat experience in a facility where people go to excursions around the different tropical locations within the retreat. So we're actually going to have the Triangle Tropical Retreat in December. And this is totally a vision that I'm bringing to life with two other ladies that I was able to sell. I don't know how I got them on board, but I did. And it's going to literally be an experience where people are going to come like they're coming off a cruise ship, and they're going to get to go to different things like cooking classes and connecting the food to your mind and body and understanding that connection, meditation booths and yoga centers. And so we'll have a different kind of booth throughout the retreat, and they'll get to go as cohorts as if they're going on an excursion. It's freaking crazy, and people are like, what are you doing? But see, that's what I love. So that's one of the big projects and goals that we have, is to make this thing happen. Because that's what Project Passport is about. We're about unconventional mental health options. We don't want to stick to the typical, just go to therapy or just do this and that. We want to do it all.
I love everything that comes out of your mouth. Just with we've talked so many times already, but just everything with the travel, the event, everything you're doing is in my blood. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to go as a guest. I need to look at the events. I need to know all of it. Now, tell us, how did Project Passport come about? How did you figure out that name? Did it just come to you? Were you just like, what am I going to name this amazing new business adventure of mine?
Well, I love that. I've never been actually truly asked that in an interview. That's, a lot of prayer, of course, always comes through this process of having a company. And when I thought the words project and passport, I knew that I wanted to have a travel component to my company no matter what. So that's probably more so the passport component. The word project, I think of it as we as people are all projects. None of us are ever complete. We're always working to better ourselves, to grow ourselves. And so I said, that is literally what I'm doing. I'm combining the concept of travel, even if it's domestic. I'm combining that concept here in the U.S. and internationally while you're working on yourself as a project. Hence, Project Passport.
I love it. I love that story. I always like to ask that question.
I know, it's a good question, though. Yeah.
Because a lot of people are curious, and I have a lot of clients that are just with their podcasts, when it comes time to naming it or naming a program, sometimes you have, for me, I usually have the name first, but the last few programs I launched, it took me weeks to name it, which is so random, like so weird for me, because I always have the name first, and then I have the idea, I know the name, and then I create it and I launch it. But this last couple times, it just didn't come to me, which is so crazy. So I love asking that question. So what do you like to do on your...
that way sometimes.
I know. And what do you like to do on your spare time when you're not?
When I'm not project passporting.
Yeah, I was just going to say when you're not project passporting.
Look, that's a new word. I'm coined a new term.
I know. Hashtag project passporting. What you do on your off time after the retreat.
Wow, man. You see, when you ask that question, I'm like, dang, what else do I freaking do? Oh my gosh.
You're just living the dream. That's the thing. Like everything you do is like revolving around this like incredible adventure that you're on, this journey.
You're right. I mean, I guess in the meantime, I'm not going to lie. I do watch a couple of like trashy TV shows like Love is...
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. I literally just told my roommate that this morning. And I posted about it. And I used the verbiage trashy TV.
I know, but I love it. It's terrible, but I love it.
Wait, which episode are you on?
Girl, I finished the whole thing.
Okay, don't tell me. So I'm at they're like 21 days to getting married. Like they just moved in together.
Okay.
So everyone, okay, so let's talk about reality TV to close out today's shows. Because this is what us entrepreneurs like to do in the spare time. We watch trashy TV.
Doggone right.
Okay, so everyone was supposed to think about this damn show. So I'm like, let me just freaking look at it because I just need to clock out the other day, like mentally clock out. And that's what you need to do is watch some Netflix, right? So I look on Netflix and I'm like, let me just see what this is about. And it said weekly episodes. So I was just assuming one. Oh no, I started to binge. I watched almost all of it. I think I'm almost at the end because there's only like 20 days, but this show is so good.
Oh my gosh. I am so in love with Lauren and Cameron. I mean, if you don't watch the show, you just need to watch it. It's worth, I think it's like 10 episodes. It's worth just that watch because, I mean, I don't want to tell you the end. But the point is, it's a great show. And
so let's tell the listeners like what it's about. So Love is Blind. So they basically put them in these pods and they're basically like little studio rooms. They give them a lot of wine and there's a wall. Did you notice how many empty bottles? I noticed those things because as a makeup artist, when I did TV jobs, I would always notice props.
Yes.
They drank a lot of wine.
You're right about that. Yeah. Because they never get to see each other. I mean, that's the crazy part. So this show, they never see each other. Mm-hmm. You basically date through a wall.
Yep.
And hope that the person that you're dating through a wall is the right person that you want to be with because you have to propose to them in order to leave the pod.
And I didn't even know the whole series. Yeah, and I didn't even know that they were sharing. Like, I didn't know it was going to go into, okay, now you're engaged. Now you're going on a trip. Now you're moving in together. Now you're going to I didn't realize, I assumed that was going to be multiple series, but these shows are actually like almost an hour long. So, I mean, I just look at it from an editing perspective now, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so much footage.
Oh yeah, and they actually recorded that footage 2018.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really cool. Once you finish it, watch all the stuff like afterwards. So they have other interviews and stuff they released finally, and I mean it's great. I'm still on a binge even now that I'm finished. I'm trying to watch whatever interview is out there on them. So.
Oh my God. I just can't believe, and they're all like young. Well, you're a lot younger than me too, but like they're your age, let's just say. And I was like, where are all the 40-year-olds? Why are there no 40-year-olds? Like, what's the one, The Bachelor? They're doing like an older Bachelor for, have you seen that? I'm like, oh my God, that's genius. But yeah, I just started binging that and it was good. And it just made me think like all my friends are like, are you swiping? Are you swiping? I'm like, no, I don't have time to swipe right now. Stop asking me. They're like, it literally takes a second. I'm like, there's no time to swipe.
Is your boyfriend, okay? So tell people to leave you alone. I tell you. It's funny because I've been engaged for like a couple of years and everybody's like, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? And I'm like, look, I'm in love with Project Passport. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm my fiance, but we're not worried about that. I'm enjoying the journey, to be honest with you.
That's the best part, I feel like. And that's what everybody says. And that's what they were saying. Oh, I'm losing my voice. On the show is they want to enjoy the experience. But I'm like, it's like 2 weeks, right? Like, I just want to...
I love you. I've only known you for 2 days, but I love you. I'm just like, okay.
You guys,
for 7 years.
I know.
It's a process, baby. It's a process.
Oh my God. You guys listening, you have to watch this show because I can't even believe I'm talking about this. I'm like, I refuse to watch this show. I got sucked in. I am watching all the episodes. And it's crazy because Love is Blind and it is amazing. They all found love and I don't know what happens. I mean, you've seen the whole thing. I'm almost at the end, but they fall in love just based on emotions and talking. I mean, they must be in those pods for hours.
They are. So that makes sense.
That's like serious therapy sessions. Oh my God. But what else would you like to share with the audience? Where can everybody find you? What's coming up next that we can look forward to?
Well, the biggest event that we have coming up just, next, right here in April, it's here in Raleigh, Durham area. So if you're in the North Carolina area, it's called Around the World of Mental Health. It's an interactive mental health and wellness symposium where we're bringing several mental health practices to come together, including Reiki, yoga, meditation. We have a hypnotherapist, all types of mental health and wellness practices. We're going to come and have an interactive activity for people to come by and just explore and look at. The whole thing is that, like I said, mental health has so many facets. There's so many things you can do. So this event will be really great if you're in the community. You just want to see what's out there. So that's April 18th here in the Raleigh-Durham area. And in order to find Project Passport, you can just go to project-passport.com. You can visit us on Facebook or Instagram at Project Passport LLC. And we're also on Twitter at Project PLLC. Someone let me have my name, so it's okay. But Project PLLC. And that's all I got.
Did you say somebody wouldn't let you have your name?
Yeah, I think someone took it or someone has it. So I'm like,
that is the most annoying thing. Like, people don't understand as a business owner and somebody that needs to be branded and like really OCD about their Twitter handles. I have been asking Kellyanne Gorman, some 15-year-old. Well, she was like 15 in her teens years ago. I'm like, can I please just have my handle on Instagram? She never answered me. Her account's not active. And I'm like, where else can I find this girl without like looking like really crazy? I'm like, I just need my Instagram handle. I never got it. That's when the Happy Workaholic was born.
There's no Sabriya Dobbins out there but me, I think. I'm literally convinced.
You're lucky because there's so many Kelly Gorman. So years ago when you would Google Kelly Gorman, well now still that's why I go by Kelly Ann now, because there's a professional dog trainer in Florida. There's an artist in London. So people would look me up and they were like, what the hell? Because they have so much stuff on their Google pages. So I became Kelly Ann, but now everybody just knows me as a Happy Workaholic or KK. So it depends on like who you are and what you call me. But
yeah, fair enough.
I have so many nicknames. But thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. I can't wait to share this episode, your story, and everything will be in the show notes. So you guys check out Project Passport, # what are we starting now? Project Passporting?
Project Passporting. Kelly,
it's a vibe.
Thank you so much for letting me be on here. You rock. I freaking love you.
Oh my God, I love you more. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Your time is so valuable, and I really appreciate you carving out a little piece of your day to listen to today's episode. If you liked this one, please share it with someone who you feel needs to hear this message. And don't forget to tag me at The Happy Workaholic on Facebook and Instagram so I can feature you on my stories. Listening on Apple Podcasts? I would love it if you would leave me a review on today's show. Your input means so much and also helps me create more of the content you'll love. Want to continue today's conversation? You can join us in the Happy Workaholic Network Facebook group. Simply answer the questions and you're in. For more information on myself and to get the latest in business, LinkedIn, organizing, and podcasting news, sign up to receive my weekly newsletter at thehappyworkaholic.com. I hope that your day continues to be happy, healthy, positive, and productive, and I'll talk to you again soon.